What's going on, guys? This is How I Talk. I'm your host, Chris Jones.
Hey, and this Tim Jones. Look at me. I'm coming from outer space all the way to your place. As I always say, there may be some things you don't like that I might say today, but it's okay. It's all right. We're going to still be friends tonight.
Again, guys, he's still been practicing that, but he's
I'm
getting better. I
practicing.
like it. I like it. There we go. But hey, guys, we are back again with another episode, which means we're going to be talking about relationships. We've been on a roll. Again, if you haven't checked out, we've been talking about a high value man, high quality man, a high value woman. And today we got a more important question. We're going to define this. Our question today and our topic of discussion is, why do women pass up the good man and go for other options? We'll keep it at that. Tim, what do you think?
Oh, so basically what you're saying is, why do women are attracted to deadbeats? Or maybe what we would define as a deadbeat, or maybe a loser, or maybe someone that's a less than option, I would guess say. But women know exactly probably what we're saying. Why do they choose a man that may be even more difficult to work with, or maybe not even considered a leader? And I would say I have about four things I would throw out, but I'm gonna start with this one thing. I'm gonna say this. I think the reason women are attracted to them so much is because they themselves don't believe that they are worthy. What I mean by that is that I think a lot of women believe, or tends to stay in the realm where they believe they shouldn't expect something greater or something better. So they believe that this is all I can get, or I can't get anything better, or I'm not deserving of anything better. And so they feel that this is my best option, so I might as well stay with them. If no one else maybe have paid me any attention, or they feel that, hey, I don't see where I can improve or anything like that. So a lot of times I see one of the things that I would bring out is that they themselves don't feel that they are worthy to have anything better. But I would say different. I would say you are worthy, women. You can have better. Your man doesn't have to be on video games all day. He needs to be having a job and holding it down regularly. He doesn't need to be one staying at home while you going to work. He doesn't be one that, hey, stays on a job for a little bit, then quit. No, that you don't have to settle for that. You are worth a lot more than that, and you don't have to settle for anything less. So if you think that you're not worthy, I want to step in and say you're worthy for more than maybe what you have. You need to evaluate and say, what kind of guy do I really have? I would say they need to evaluate that and come up with themselves. What do you think?
That's a solid point right there. A lot of women will get with a man and not feel that they are capable of, being with a man that is of higher value. But I think that's having to do with something internally. And on a deeper level, I think sometimes women get with a man because they're um, feeling, or I guess they get with a man that is emotionally unavailable, I should say.
Ooh,
Sometimes women get with
emotional.
a man, he's not ready for the next step or ready for a relationship. And sometimes they get with that man because they're also unemotionally available.
Ooh.
So it works together. Hey, well, you're not ready to make this next step, and neither am I. But right now, it works for me, right? But when the good man comes in, he says, baby, I'm ready to go to the next level. I really want to take care of you. I want to show you the finer things and actually show you that I care about you. You said, wait a minute, that's too much. You're doing too much. He's moving too fast. He's making me scared, making me nervous. It's because you may not be emotionally available or ready to take the next step. And the next step means being emotionally and mentally and spiritually ready. But you haven't fixed yourself to be prepared for that good man, because that good man is ready.
Oh, so you would say they're probably codependent. Let's use the terminology of being codependent. Because I myself am not ready, I will look for someone else that's not ready. Because I myself am unavailable and emotionally unattached, I'm gonna look for someone else who's unavailable and emotionally unemotionally attached. So I'm codependent. I depend on you to survive. I need you in my life the way you're behaving, and because that helps me thrive and survive.
Well, To an extent, but I would say in this
No,
dating world, people know in the modern world that dating is tough. And the reason it's tough is because
I
a
want to hear
lot of
this. Why
people
is it tough?
because a lot of people use people, right? Because hey,
Yeah,
if
but
I'm unemotionally
hey, they
available to
use people back in my day too. You act like that's a new thing. Oh, they used to.
see, but here it's a little different, right? You can talk to people around the world. Y'all just talk within a 10-mile radius. Well, whatever was in 10 miles, you could talk to. Here we got the whole playing field. But let me say something about dating is when you have all these options, men, women have all these options, and a good man comes through. A lot of women, like I stated before, are not ready. And a lot of times they'll use the good man as somebody to talk to, somebody that can listen to them, because the good man is really trying to pursue them. And sometimes they'll pass up that good man because they'd rather go with the bad boy, the guy that's not stable, because he may look more cool. He may have the swag that you like, but he doesn't have the tools or the toolbox to be ready for a family or to be able to take your relationship to the next dynamic and actually be married. He's just over there having fun with you, play fun. And you like that. I use him for this, yada, yada. And you think that you're going to change him and you like his potential. But this good man over here, he may not have the preferences, like I've stated in other videos. He may not have the preference or the looks that you're going for. So sometimes you use that man. You just talk to him and just kind of keep him on a chain, kind of keeping him around because he makes you feel good.
Oh, so you said so you got women out here using people like that. Hey, they were using us in the 10-mile radius too. But
Uh huh.
that's that's the way it works sometimes. Sometimes they want people in their lives who make them feel good, and I can understand that because we ourselves, everybody does. Sometimes we want people in our lives who make us feel good, and it may be someone that they're not physically attracted to, or they don't feel would be the guy for them. They may be a guy that they say, "Hey, I don't see you going any place with me, but you know what? You make me feel good. We always laugh and talk, and I get the smiles out of you, and you tell me how cute I am, how pretty I am. But I don't want to. I want them a little rougher than you. I like a little thuggish. And I've heard some women say, I like some thug life. Go on, girl, you like some thug life. And they like it for a little while till the thug life don't pay. See, when it stop paying, then nobody
Yeah.
likes it no more. When it ain't
Right.
making no money, nobody likes it. Well,
Right.
when you're younger, women are younger, they'll tend to accept the thug life more often. With someone who's really not producing. But when they get older and as they get a little bit more seasoned, they start to say, you know what? For my kids to eat, I need a brother that's going to be able to add these numbers up. Somebody that's going to bring some food to the table. You for your kids to eat, you need somebody who's going to work. And it's not so much the type of job they do, it's the fact that they simply work, that they're out there going and trying to make it happen at whatever level they're at. They're trying to make it happen. And you can get a guy, it doesn't matter what level, but the thing is, he has to be working, he has to be producing, he has to be bringing home income. He can't be sitting there trying to play video games all day, doing stuff like that. He's got to be out trying to do something for the family, for his wife, for his kids, those type of things. And if he's doing that, and I don't mean selling drugs or doing anything illegal, I'm not talking about in that arena because it's so easy nowadays for guys to say, well, I'm being held back. And so since I'm being held back, I have to do these drugs. I have to sell drugs. I want to make it happen for my family. And they'll use that as an excuse for them to be able to deal in that paraphernalia, those drugs and things like that. But that's really not an excuse. It may be that you need to go to a trade school and leave the drugs alone. It may be that they need to go and educate themselves, leave the drugs alone. Maybe that they go to trucking school. It may be a lot. There's a lot of things that people can do besides drugs and make a living and make money for their family. And I think that some of them like the quick money that's involved with that, the adrenaline maybe. But women need to look at that and evaluate that and say, hey, listen, I'm worth more. I'm not codependent. And there's other things that I want in my life, not only for me, but for the children that I bring into this world. So I would say this too. I was telling you one point, they don't believe they're worthy, but the other point is this. they are afraid to be alone. I think a lot of times
Mm,
women are afraid to be alone. They don't want to find themselves end up like being themselves, being that old woman, or by themselves. They're afraid that if I don't take this guy or this person that I'm dealing with, I might not get anybody. Well,
yeah,
that's not the case. See, when you're young, you have to, women as they're young, they have to be wise with their decisions, because as they get older, the pool gets smaller. And so they gotta understand that as they're younger, that's when their pool is the biggest. That's
mm,
when their pool's the biggest. And as they grow older, that pool shrinks down and gets smaller and smaller. Why? Because women typically, this is typically, they don't want a guy that's younger than them. They typically don't. So a 25-year-old woman is not trying to date a 20-year-old guy. She just not. She's typically trying to date 25, 26 to 30 or 26 to 35. She would be dating in that range, maybe up to 40. But that's the range she would be dating if she's 25. Now, if she's 30, she's going to look for a little bit more mature man, 35 to 40 maybe years old.
right.
And a 30-year-old woman that's been working and that's been in the workforce, she's not gonna be trying to get no boy 21 years old out of college. What they
Mm,
gonna do? She gonna like, baby. I'm in a stage where I'm trying to have some kids. I want to have a house, and you 21 years old, you out here flip flopping and break dancing. What we gonna do?
yeah.
She's going, baby. We don't match, baby. I got other
In
things.
college. Yeah, he in
Yeah,
college.
you
I ain't gonna
in
lie.
college. You trying to play beer pong, baby. I got they don't match, and so typically, as the women go up in age, then they don't look backwards to get a man to match them. They typically look forward to say, I want someone that's a little bit older than me. And as they get older, they tend to say, oh, if I don't settle, if I don't take something, I could virtually be alone. And this is why your decision, women, your decision making, and from 2021 to 29 is so important. I mean, it is important because this is where you're going to start your life cycle. This is where you're going to start your life cycle. And after 30, women start to get settled in ways that they're accustomed to, and they'll start to move in an area or arena where they're not so, they'll want a man, but
Mm,
they may find themselves not desiring it as much as in their 20s, because your clock on women, if they're going to have children, is typically from that 20 to 30-year old that they're having majority of their children. Some have them beyond 30 to 40, but the majority of women have them up until 30. After 30 and after 40, it gets dangerous. It's
right.
dangerous for women. It's very dangerous. But from 30 to 40, there is a reproduction in there. But from that 20 to 30 is when most women start families, have babies, things of that nature. So it's important on your decision making on who the guy you allow into your life and allow to be part of your circle. Hey, where I
That's
go wrong on that? Tell me.
no, that's interesting you say that because what I'm taking away from it is like women need to master the art of being alone.
Yes.
I think people in general need to do that. Being alone is tough for a lot of people. So what do? They become codependent. They grab onto whatever's close or whatever gives them the attention. And the person giving them attention may not be the person that's the best fit for them. It could be a toxic person because toxic people come around you. But what I also encourage women to do is also improve themselves because I believe in the law of attraction. Who you are and what you attract what's around you, right? If you want to be successful, you'll attract successful people. If you want to be a certain way or you want to go a certain way, you going on that journey means that you'll find people that are also going towards that journey as well because of the law of attraction. So that's what I'm hearing and what I'm pulling from what you're saying. But I'd also say this about a woman that's passing up a good man. Sometimes they pass up a good man because they have been in toxic relationships
Ooh.
and they've never seen it growing up.
Oh, that's true. I would agree. A lot of times, that's why I said it's important for them to be able to pick, because they will get in these toxic relationships. And in these toxic relationships, listen, it destroys the opportunity for the next guy who comes along. I mean, it'll just wipe it out. They'll just say, no, you don't understand what I've been through. And I hear you, baby. You've been through a lot. You chose an individual that brought you through a lot of things and brought you down, and therefore now you're just you're callous toward other people. Very hard, and it's very hard to penetrate you. And sometimes they can be hard and penetrating to the wrong individuals because of the who they met previously. But I would also say this. I think sometimes women are trying to teach an old dog new tricks,
Mm.
and I don't think it works. So I think women like to take a man, an individual they find in their lives, and they're going, well, maybe he doesn't do this, this, and this. They may say he doesn't do A, B, and C. But you know what? I'm going to teach him X, Y, Z.
And
Listen,
be the
if that
teacher.
joke, it's not going to work. If that joke is A, B, C, you're not teaching him X, Y, Z. It's just not
Yeah.
going to happen. You might as well realize that's what you got, A, B, and C. And if you don't like A, B, and C, you better bail right now. Jump, pull the parachute, get out, jump, the plane's going down. I'm telling you, jump. You gotta know, ladies, when you got A, B, and C, if you don't like it, pull the parachute, get
Hey,
out.
y'all gotta let him relax because this man, he about to go crazy. This man getting high blood pressure over here. Relax, dude. Relax. He's
Hey,
yelling.
I'm trying to
Relax,
encourage
big
them.
fella. They hear you. They
Jump.
understand. You about to really have people jumping out their cars and playing.
Yeah.
All right. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah,
But
throw the
going,
parachute, paraglide down, do something,
yeah.
get out the plane, it's crashing.
Yeah. But see, what happens is that people normalize toxic relationships. They normalize the things that they see or what they've experienced and think that this is the way life should go. I know that is. I used to teach at a trade school, and I would talk to students. We talk about business classes or customer servicing. And I remember one time, I don't remember what the topic was, but related to relationships and building relationships with people, of course, i.e., customer servicing, right? And I remember we had a deep conversation, and one girl was telling me, we're talking about being in a relationship, obviously, with somebody, intimately. And she was saying the fact that, she was in a relationship with a guy, and the guy used to beat her. And she was so normalized to it. She thought, it's crazy, right? Looking back, it's crazy that, somebody would think that way, but I understand. She thought that that was okay. She thought that that was a component of a successful relationship. See, a lot of people sometimes think that way too. Oh, I may get hit, or he may slap me, or he may push me around. That's part of it. That's just a relationship, right? We argue, we spit on each other, we cuss each other out. That's just normal. Why? Because maybe I saw it before, or maybe I see it around me, or your mind is filtered to think that that's okay, but it's not. And then when you see somebody that's a good guy that comes in, they come up, sweep you off your feet. Sometimes they think you too good to be true. Something, I can't put my finger on it, but something's off about you. I don't know what it is, and something may not be off about it. Just the way they present themselves is too good to be true. They don't have any flaws. And let me tell you, the good guy does have flaws. He just treats you better than this toxic person or the person you with that is beneath or not worthy of being with you. So going back to what I was saying is, she thought that that was a healthy relationship. She thought that I'm being with a man that really loves me. She said that. And this woman is about 30s, 40s. She said she just got out of that relationship. I think going back to the story, 3-4 years that she ever removed herself from that relationship. But she was still in her 30s thinking that that was okay as a relationship. And it's not. We all know that. But, hey, sometimes when you're going through things, it takes time. It takes looking back and reflecting to realize that was wrong. Why was I doing that? Why was I in that situation? At the time, it seemed right. Right? Everybody was telling me it was wrong. But sometimes you have to go through things, experience things to understand, which i.e. is wisdom. Experiences tell you that.
Which I would say it would go back to their idea of not being worthy. So what people do is what I found is that they'll normalize a toxic situation because they themselves don't feel they're worthy for anything better. So they'll
Mm.
believe that, hey, the fact that he hits me, that's normal. That's just the way he is. The fact that he doesn't work, that's normal. That's just the way he is. And the fact that it's a toxic environment, that's normal. That's just the way it is. And they will settle for that, believing that they themselves are not worthy of anything more. So I agree with you. They don't see it as anything different, but they're normalizing it because they see the value within themselves. They don't see a high value within themselves. And so if they see themselves as simply the I guess a snail walking around real slow, and that's believing that's the pace they can only move at. They don't see themselves as maybe a rabbit or something that could move a little faster. So they would say, "This is all I get because this is who I am." So if you don't see yourself as valuable and a diamond, you don't see yourself as this high value mineral, then you yourself will then devalue your own self. And when
Mm.
you devalue your own self, then you become worth less. But I would encourage you, like, you got to see yourself as a pearl instead of a grain of salt or a grain of sand. You got to
Tell them
see
old school.
yourself
Tell
as
them.
something greater. You know what? A pearl, this is how a pearl comes about because it starts as a grain of sand inside a clam. What happens is the clam then rubs and gets irritated, and then the sand starts to turn into a pearl. Only through irritation can it turn into a pearl. So let me tell you this, ladies. You may go through some things, you may get irritated and things like that, but your value is a pearl, and you got to see yourself more than simply a grain of sand. Oh, should I
There
stop?
we go.
Should I stop?
Well, let me say this too: is that women want to be with winners. That's just the matter of the fact. That's really the truth of it. Women want to be winners. But let me say this: a lot of women sometimes choose the wrong winner. They don't know what really the full complexity is of a winner. They look at it from, we talked about this earlier off camera. Is just whenever women are younger in high school, who are the winners? Well, maybe the athletes, the star players. They're the winners at that time. But you got to think about the longevity of life. Who is really the winners when you think about a man? Well, it's a good man that's going to be true to his family. It's a good man that has a stable job. That's a working man that wants more out of life, that is on his purpose. That's a good man. See, women think that being a winner or being with a winner or somebody with high status and is on the scene and is known and everybody flocks to is the winner. Well,
No.
he's a winner in some areas. Yes, he can be a winner, but there's more to it when we're talking about dating somebody, being with somebody, courting somebody. That's what you need to look for, is a man that's solidified and building relationships and being around people that is going to make him grow. Because you can keep going with the athlete all you want to, baby. I'm gonna tell you, good luck. You can be
Good
with that
luck.
that artist, that rapper, that athlete. When we was younger, I say good luck. But you don't see it sometimes when somebody's choosing to go maybe the academic route. And mind you, even if he is academically inclined, that does not mean that he is a good man either. Just because he
That's
got the
true.
accolades in, just because he's an artist or he's an athlete, don't mean that he's not a good man. But I'm just
Yeah.
giving you an example of, you need to make sure that you're with the right winner. Sometimes people are winners for a season. You want to be with somebody that's a winner for the longevity of their lifetime.
Woo!
Be with that.
I like that, winners for a season, and then there's
Mm,
winners for a lifetime. But that's right, ladies. Why it's important you pick a winner for a lifetime. Hey, Chris, that's all I have for them today. You got
that's
something
all I
else
got
for?
to.
Yeah. Well, it was a good program. So, man, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I want them to listen, not only at this podcast, but listen to some of our other podcasts. Tune in to some of the things we have. We have some great content. Great content. You'll love it. Enjoy the programs as you get an opportunity.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. Until then, this is how I talk.